Okay. Hello, how is everybody today? We're going to have a little fun tonight with some Old Smoky. It's sticky. Why is that sticky? Holy shit. Falling apart? Why are you falling apart? Am I falling apart? The theory is falling apart. The theory's always falling apart. Hold on, I gotta turn off all this Halloween shit. I'm gonna keep the bats. I like the bats. The bats are cool. You're falling apart? Spent all day yesterday taking half of your room downstairs. Oh. Were you looking forward to this? I hope I could be like a good spot in your life throughout the day. That's what I'm hoping for. Right? Does that make sense? If I could make like one person a day smile, it was a worthwhile day. That's just the way I look at it. Or if I just piss one person off unbelievably for just being me, it's a well spent day. We're gonna go some lo-fi. Hold on. We need some lo-fi, right? Some DMCA free lo-fi here. Woo, that's probably loud as fuck. Yeah, look at that music on your end. Holy shit. That's loud. Moosak. Right there. I bet you that's good, huh? There we go. You can't control how bad of a day you're having, but you control how weird someone else's days get. I mean, absolutely. You know, and honestly, you're always spent sleeping all day after taking painkillers and eating pizza. I mean, painkillers can be fun, from what I hear. I'm really not a pill person. You guys, Harley, man, he was there when I got my surgery, and they gave me like fucking pills and shit. You wish it wasn't NNN. What's NNN? NNN. I'm pretty sure I've asked this before. How you doing, Harley? Yeah, you stopped talking. Taking them like day one. Yeah, dude, I don't do pills. No Nut November. Oh yeah. Okay, you're participating in No November too. Me as well. I'm gonna try and rebuild up this old man's horniness. It's getting to the point where sometimes porn's just not even doing it. It's just like, ugh, all right, I'll just go to sleep. Fuck it. You're all right? Cool. Cappy's in the living room watching Quantum of Solace right now. Cappy had the also very unfortunate experience of finding out what's been going on at drag queen age, you know. What is it? Drag queen age, the fail guard. Oh, it's so terrible. So terrible, right? Which actually kind of leads me tomorrow. Tomorrow, usually I don't stream. Sorry. But I think tomorrow, in honor and homage to some of the greats, I'm going to see about maybe turning on some Dragon Age Origins. It's bad awesome. It's so bad. Like, I don't even know how to put it. Except for the first trailer, which makes you lose. Yeah. It's real bad, bro. It's super bad. I don't know how else to put it. Oh shit, I got a text. Hold on a second. I'm literally trying not to do this. Okay. Here we go. While on stream, but I was on a little bit of a time crunch getting on. I was playing Baldur's Gate 3 right before this and was kind of getting into it, and Cappy was all getting into it too. Want to know what you have? Is it Thrush? The fuck are you guys talking about? Yeah, we enjoyed the movie last night. The fuck? What is Thrush for one? And what do you mean? What do you want to know what you have? I'm so lost. Okay. There we go. Plug this in. I pad my numbers a little bit. You know. All right. Maybe we clean this off. Get like one of these alcohol pads. Thrush is a yeast infection of the throat. Oh. Clap of the yap. Gotcha. How you get it self-explanatory. Yeah, you get it from fucking eating raunchy ass pussy. The first Mass Effect for 360 limited edition, still sealed with a sticker and date saying do not sell before. Holy shit, brother. You know, I got something for that. Here. Cheers, mate. Oh, that is dangerous. That is dangerous. This is banana pudding moonshine. That is extraordinarily delicious. You have a sealed edition of 10.10.2 HD remaster for PS4. Nice, nice. You know what I got? You know what I got? I got... You've never seen this before. I got you, boo. Hold on. Not sealed. Yeah. Yeah. You know what that is? It is the vanilla 1.0 version. Collector's edition of Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I wasn't fucking bullshitting you when I said I had it. And yeah, it's opened because I actually played the fucking game. Got the original map in there where there's like krakens and shit on the map. I don't know if you can really see it or not, but here, I guess we don't need the fucking... And there's like little watermarks in here, like anvil, yeah, whatever the fuck that is. What is that? Oh, it's one of the mounts. And this is like white mage staff and a bow, or black mage staff and a bow. There's an Oppo Oppo watermark. It's real faint. Dude, I can read Eorzean. Like, that is something I do know how to do. All right. I'm going to put this away. The disc itself. Like, I know you probably can't read that. It's backwards, but it says the making of. Right? The making of a realm. I figured you'd appreciate that. Oh, fuck. I still need to get on and do fucking the Halloween event. It's probably over already. I probably missed it. Whatever. I don't even have it downloaded to my PC. I mean, it's not probably. I know I don't. I got 2 days. Okay. So there's that. And then my ex-wife at the time, she was wanting to play with me. So I went ahead and bought another PC collector's edition of 14. And this is the Realm Reborn version. So there you go. Awesome. Was that cool? Did you like that? You know what else I still got? This one's for Harley. This one's for Harley. Harley, guess what I got? It's in my hand right now. It's special. I'll give you a hint. It's not dead yet. Nope. To Jeffrey. He still looks good as fuck, dude. Look, I've taken care of him. He's all clean and everything. Like, I wash him every now and then. Jeffrey. The only plant I haven't killed yet. Yeah. We call him Jeffrey because who's afraid of a Jeffrey? Such a funny fucking movie. Such a funny fucking movie. Oh, man. So are we ready to watch some spoopy shit or what? We just want to chill a little bit. Here, I do want to do this real quick. So we see Dead Space, right? Here. Yeah, do we see that? Here. Let me get a better look at that. All right, do we see that? Yeah, we're just going to go ahead and see that. Yep. Game drive. We're just going to go ahead and install. We're going to accept EA's bullshit. I don't have to if I don't want to, by the way. I don't have to at all. Because I got this program called GOG. Good old games. Oh, look. Fuck yeah. Look at Morgan. Fucking A. I would say I'd suck the color out of them tits, but I'm pretty sure she's albino through and through. You gonna get a new game today? Hell yeah, what you gonna get? Born to bad likes dog. Look at that. Fucking A. Back when BioWare didn't give a fuck. Sparking Zero. I don't even know what Sparking Zero is. Look at that. This is Origins to Inquisition. Some might say Origins looks better. Some might say Inquisition looks better. I appreciate the fucking details that they have actually transferred over. Right? I think they could have done better in Inquisition. But I do really appreciate the details that they have carried over. Dude. That guy's going to be me. Right here. December 1st. Right after No Nut November. And that's the first fucking nut I have. That's going to be me right there. Dude, look at this cosplay, Morgan. My God. Get it, girl. That looks fucking amazing. A tale of boobs and drama. Dragon Ball Arena Fighter. All right, cool. Well, I know who I'd pick if I was fighting you. It'd be Shinsuke. Hell yeah. I've only played this 8 hours on the PC. That is sad. I've played the fuck out of it on the 360 though. I'm gonna tell you right now, I got like 4 different endings on the fucking PC. Or on the 360. So we're gonna have to go through with this. And yes, I have the Awakening DLC, right? So there you go. It's ready to play. Should we just see if it boots up? Let me see if it boots up. Yeah. Running install script. Here, we're gonna... Just in case if it pops up something I don't want you guys seeing. Not necessarily you guys, but, you know, shit lives on the internet forever. In order to play expanded content for Dragon Age Origins Ultimate Edition, it must be first activated. I have it activated. This is dumb shit. Completed. All right, cool. Close. Configure. Oh shit, boys. Oh shit. Please wait while system information is collected. You can play this game on ultimate graphics. Welcome. Video. Resolution. What? Weird. Oh. There we go. Graphics detail. I figured this would come like, go like automatic or whatever, but sure. Okay. Audio's fine. Online. There. The game itself. Okay. See how this works. What was that 360 game you was wanting to play, man? Yo. So fucking good, dude. Like, this game is just so fucking awesome. I mean, just listen to this music. Welcome to Dragon Age Origins. Okay. Let's see other campaigns. We got Witch Hunt, Awakening, Darkspawn Chronicles, Liliana Song, and the Golems of Amagrak. Here, just fucking listen to this. Listen to this spank, guys. Oh, we doing spooky stuff. Don't worry. I'm just... In honor of Drag Queen Age, the Fail Hard, and me identifying as non-binary, we are going to play Dragon Age Origins and completely boycott the fuck out of fucking the new game. That is not a Dragon Age game. I'm sorry. We're still waiting for Dragon Age, the Dreadwolf, to come out. We demand our games to be left the fuck alone and done right and fucking proper. We're tired of this bullshit. I was making sure this loads. And so is the Golden City, blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world. Canticle of Threnodias, 8:13.
The chantry teaches us that it is the hubris of men which brought the Darkspawn into our world. The mages had sought to usurp heaven, but instead, they destroyed it. They were cast out, twisted and cursed by their own corruption. They returned as monsters, the first of the Darkspawn. They became a blight upon the lands, unstoppable and relentless. The Dwarven kingdoms were the first to fall, and from the deep roads, the Darkspawn drove at us again and again, until finally we neared annihilation.
Hell yeah.
Until the Grey Wardens came. Men and women from every race, warriors and mages, barbarians and kings. The Grey Wardens sacrificed everything to stem the tide of darkness, and prevailed.
Look at all the fucking blood! Blood for the blood
It has been 4
god!
centuries since that victory, and we have kept our vigil. We have watched and waited for the Darkspawn to return. But those who once called us heroes have forgotten. We are few now, and our warnings have been ignored for too long. For I have seen with my own eyes what lies on the horizon. Maker, help us all.
Hell yeah. Alright, this looks like it's gonna work. We're gonna go through this again tomorrow, though. That makes me happy. Look at this. Oh, God. Oh, so good. Look how perfect it is. How could you change this? Okay. And so here we back. Here we back. Here we be back. We got the browser. Okay, we got browser. All right. There's a reason I part of the fantasy of the Guilty Gear. There's a reason I part of the Guilty Gear fan base that was made about what they did to a character in Strive. Yes. Okay. Spoopy time. Unless you want to clarify that.
While driving down a stretch of highway, Felicity D promptly takes out her phone after noticing something down the road. It had caught her attention, considering that no other cars were on the road. It was just her and the driver alone on this highway when this was spotted. Now this video takes place in Arenas Valley, New Mexico, where it seems that others have encountered similar experiences. Ghost sightings are nothing new to those who live around here.
That looked like literally
this,
nothing.
as viewers believe, may just be the clearest evidence of something paranormal. Although it's hard to say as to what this was, you can see that something is moving before somehow vanishing. It's a bit faint, but something is there, until it isn't. Now unfortunately not much info is given on this clip, except that it took place in New Mexico. Yet still, as many have commented, this footage is pretty creepy. Just who, or even what, was seen on camera?
Still there, Squatch? Still there, Awesome? That and I don't want to.
On a Sunday afternoon inside a
autocorrect.
small retail store, an employee working by himself decides to tidy up a few items on display. It was like any other workday at the shop. Johann Salazar would clock in and start the shift by organizing stock. But as he does his job, he all of a sudden runs to the back of the store, completely out of breath and
Calling
visibly
bullshit.
shaking.
You call him bullshit on the video or what? Okay.
In his own words, had felt something heavy drop on his shoulders. Not sure what it was that was on his back. He looks at the security camera recording at this time and sees something that terrifies him beyond belief.
Oh no.
This is what he saw. It appears
Nice video.
that Johan's
Okay.
shirt and hoodie is pulled by something. Initially thinking that someone had put their hands on Johan's back, he turns
Cheers.
around expecting someone to be there, but to his shock, there was no one. He was absolutely positive that he felt something heavy on his shoulders, yet it seems that whatever weight he had felt was non-existent. Or, so it seems, because as viewers believe, this invisible weight was most likely a spirit who was getting physical with Johan. If that's the case, then its presence was definitely felt.
I just
But
cheered
whether
Scabby
ghost
from
or
across the
not,
house.
Johan has been left terribly shaken by this incident. To this day,
Oh, here we go.
there is yet to be an update on this whole occurrence. Now the following video comes from a mother who for some reason
There's a little god.
began to feel
Go
an
for it.
overwhelming sense of anxiety while taking care of her baby. It was just her
So fucking
and her
tasty.
son alone at home watching a movie peacefully when things took an unexpected turn. Looking
Harley
at the
says,
bathroom door,
"Cappy!"
she notices that it's wide open. When she last looked, it was somewhat shut.
There's the mic.
Seeing that something was different, she grabs her phone and begins to record.
Still can't see
Whenever
me. Oh,
something like
floating
this
head.
happens, according
Floating
to
head,
her,
floating head.
things get very
There we
weird.
are.
It's a common occurrence, but on this
Dude, I
night,
watched a little
what
bit
she
of the video
captures
from last
is
night,
unlike
too.
anything she's ever experienced.
It's like you were just a
On
floating
the
head
verge of
there.
having a panic
That's awesome.
attack, she records the
Completely
bathroom
wit with
when
Halloween.
this is captured.
The door is moving by itself.
No fucking way. The fucking door. Like, we talking thermodynamics and pressure. Oh. Oh.
Oh my god. Don't forget. Please go away. Please go away. You're not wanted. Go away. Wherever you are, go away.
Huh? Ooh.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Oh
Ooh.
my god. This is the scariest thing I've ever encountered in this house.
No. Ooh.
I'm so scared right now. Please go away. It can't be spooky. Spooky? Psst, 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 psst. Spook?
Ooh.
Moo?
To say that the mother was spooked out of her mind would be putting it lightly.
That was stupid.
It's the fact that she pulls in her child after sensing something dangerous that really shows this. Now, she didn't see it at first, but after watching this video, she saw it. At the entrance to the bathroom, a very distinct shadow-like figure appears quickly. It's actually pretty quick when it happens, so it's understandable as to why she had missed this. But seeing how fast it moves only adds to the creepiness of this footage. Whatever this might have been seems to pop in and out quick before seemingly disappearing. Seeing this and hearing the bathroom door creak has led her to believe that something paranormal took place. But whether ghost or not, there has yet to be a definitive explanation for what was captured on this night.
God, that was a huge letdown. I thought something was actually going to happen there.
In the following video, a security guard is doing rounds at a hotel when she suddenly comes to a stop after encountering something very disturbing. This video took place in 2019 and was recently shared by a friend of the security guard shown in the clip. At first, the friend who posted this wasn't sure if sharing this online would be a good idea. What was captured, according
Well, yeah,
to
'cause
them,
you might look like
is
a fucking
something that the
idiot.
hotel would rather keep under wraps. Perhaps to avoid reminding people of a terrible incident that occurred many years ago. In 1986, this exact hotel, which was formerly called the DuPont Plaza, had mysteriously caught fire, resulting in many lives being lost. Guests had no choice but to leap off their balconies as the flames had engulfed the
I
whole
remember
building.
that shit.
The sight of this was hard to bear, to say the least. But fast forward to 2019, and the hotel is now rebranded and remodeled under a different company. However, from time to time, strange things would happen here. Hotel guests would report supposed paranormal experiences and blame the fire incident that occurred years ago to explain this. The following video is a prime example of what guests experience while being here. It's late at night when apparently something pulls the security guard's hair. Take a look.
Yeah, you remember that? I remember that. People were literally jumping off the roof because the fucking place was on fire. Oh, she just get her pony hood? Yeah. He wants it, babe. He wants it. Go get yourself some.
Looking closely, you can see that her ponytail is the first thing that moves before she tilts her head. However, its movement is anything but subtle. It's as if something had yanked her hair, causing her to jerk her head in a sudden motion. According to the friend who posted this, the security guard thought that someone had ran away upon pulling her hair. But after watching this clip, that clearly wasn't the case. Her hair was definitely pulled, but it wasn't someone she could identify.
She's got some nice ass hair too. You can just tell by the way, like,
as the friend believes,
it's all
was
bouncy and shit.
unexplainable. But as always, I'll
It's
let
a
you
good
come
ass
up with your own
ponytail.
conclusions. Just what
I know.
exactly could explain the security guard's hair being pulled?
I know all about because she kind of looks cute too from the CCTV footage. You know, maybe not once you take the once you put some sharpness in that
Late at
shit.
night,
But
when a group of friends decide to enter a hospital that's been out of service for quite some time, they would never
Coast
come
Wanted
alone
sub.
unless they were dared to do so, because apparently this place is not what it seems. Although seeming like an empty facility devoid of any doctors or patients, the Felix Bonis Hospital in Santiago, Chile has been said to have a certain presence within its walls. Now thankfully, the lights are still on inside this hospital, which is a good thing for the group. The emergency system powering these lights appears to be running, but even with the lights on, the following incident remains just as frightening. This is what they caught.
ooh.
Familia, estamos aquí en el hospital Felipe Bunne. Son las... ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es, familia? ¿Qué hora es? ¿Qué hora es? La 1:08. La 1:08.
They're 2 hours early. She's either real scared or real horny, or maybe both. Man, that's where you want them. You want them scared and horny. Yeah. La 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 la.
It happens
Scorny.
quickly, but upon looking closely,
Hell
you'll
yeah.
see what appears to be a silhouette of a person just walking past the group of friends. No one had noticed it, and no one realized what was captured
More
until
tentacles,
much later
please.
when watching the footage. Clearly, something had been there, but it's hard to say as to what exactly it was. Briefly, we can see what looks like a distinct outline of someone small. But strangely, whoever or
That's that
whatever
kid's
this was
fucking baby
goes
sister.
unnoticed by the group.
Scaroused.
It's for this reason that they no doubt
Oh,
believe
yeah.
that this had to be the spirit of a deceased patient who doesn't know they already passed. But ghost or not, it seems that what was captured will currently stay a mystery. Taking place inside someone's apartment, a man immediately stops what he's doing to record this video, as it was just now that stuff started moving.
Look at that pile of junk, though. Of course it's gonna fucking move. It looked like they were in the process of fucking moving and just fucking piled the shit there for easy access to load up on the U-Haul tomorrow. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Jesus Christ, that's like fucking eating the fucking center of the cinnamon roll first. Of course something's gonna fucking move over there. No shit. Of course it's the best bite of the cinnamon roll. Fucking...
moving, right? So this has moved. I thought it was because maybe one of the things is stuck in the blinds, and I closed the blinds, but that was one thing. The bike then...
Motherfucker, even foreign. Like, aren't they supposed to have a better education system than us? Well, maybe not like my generation, but like definitely now, I'm sure. But like, yeah, do they not know what the fuck gravity is? Thank you. Piles of junk settle, including houses. Fuck out of here with
Within the
this
span
shit.
of 30 minutes, things just started moving on their own. This is something
Let's
that commonly
see.
happens, but not once has it ever been caught on camera. But on this night, something happened.
You hear that? Not once. Nothing has fallen because of gravity. Not once, guys. Here we go.
That scares the living daylights out of the man. Hoping to get something on camera, he captures this.
and I'm just kind of now trying... I tried to film other stuff when the bike moved, and I deleted that video because nothing happened. But I'm just trying to see if I'm going mad and want to catch something. I've noticed things
it's like
in this
mad,
flat for
man.
quite a while, but I've always put them down to like neighbours' noise or whatever it might be. But this is the first time I've kind of actually seen things move.
I'm getting fucking belligerent tonight, boys.
But yeah, so I don't really know. I want something to move, and I also don't want something to move. If anything is here, please, by all means, feel free to move something. Move one of the leaves here, move one of the leaves there, I don't know, whatever you want to move. Move the bike again.
Play Stairway to Heaven on the guitar. Like, come on, something.
Don't be scared. Although
yeah.
Scared.
Ghost, don't be scared. Yeah.
It's one of those horrible situations where you kind of want something off. There is no
He said fuck off. And that was edited like motherfucker.
I'm so glad I got
That was so fucking edited. Cappy, now you're here. Okay. How edited is this? Edited. Yeah, you make sure you wipe that shit off, man. Fucking come on, man. Lick it. Be all sensual with it. Just be like, ah. No? Okay, cool. All right. This is edited like a motherfucker, right?
Don't be scared. Although I am a little bit scared. It's one of those horrible situations where you kind of want something off. There is no way.
Could be a string.
That was pretty.
I'm so glad I got that on recording. Oh, I'm coughing all of a sudden.
Not real.
Holy.
Definitely not real. None of this shit's real.
I can't believe I actually got that on film. Please move.
That's a bit of a different move than I thought he was talking about, though.
Again. This, by the way, has been propped up here for ages. This has not been moved. It's never moved before.
Let's just randomly keep piles of junk in your
I'm
house,
shaking a
just
little
like
bit.
piled up.
Sorry for swearing, by the way.
No one stores shit like that. I'm not believing you.
Oh my god, I'm so happy that I've just got that on tape. And like this, this isn't like attached to anything. Like there's nothing attached to it. Like I have.
Guitar string snaps and cuts his fucking hand. I wasn't even good at it. It really wasn't.
I kicked it. I haven't moved anything. It's been I don't know how it was now, but it's been kind of propped up for a long time. I'm going to lay it down a bit more. I absolutely knew that
Had it not been for him lifting his guitar and showing an up-close view of the neck, then this definitely would have raised some suspicions. No strings are seen anywhere besides those on the guitar, and nothing around it hints at the possibility of this being faked. It's the lack of questionable evidence that makes this possibly real, and therefore pretty creepy.
No, there was a fucking jog right there. God damn, fucking, there ain't no way you that stupid.
That makes this possibly real.
You can see the jog in the cut. Here, it's fucking, what is it? Playback speed, 0.25.
Oh. And therefore probably real. And therefore real. And therefore
I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. I might be eating my words on that one.
Or pretty creepy. Yet this only gets creepier when noticing how sudden the guitar moves. Usually, when things aren't propped right, a slow shifting movement occurs before gravity takes over and makes it fall fast.
Yeah, but that shit was like...
This, however, immediately moves as if someone had forcefully pushed it. To the man, whatever happened here was surely paranormal. But of course, whether or not that's so is up to you to decide. Was something supernatural at play here? Or
yeah, I better be
is there
careful with
something
that.
else that could possibly explain this? Now, not much is known about this next video, considering
I don't
that the
drink,
original
guys.
source is unknown. Where it came from,
Like, y'all might be like, bullshit, you're a fucking ex-sailor, you're a retired sailor, Jake. Like, I don't drink. I used to drink. I don't drink. I haven't like really drank in a while. This is a 750. And it's It's almost, it might be gone by the end of this. I'm going to wake up tomorrow. It's going to be Sunday.
Who exactly posted this first remains a mystery, but despite lacking any sort of context, the video is still pretty creepy. Taking place in what appears to be a museum, a group of people
Fuck the
visit
empty
an exhibit
vessels.
that is, well, a bit disturbing to say the least. As with most lifelike mannequins, there's something quite off-putting about these, but it's not the mannequins that make the video pretty spooky, but rather something else.
What was that
Whoever
story
took
where...
this-
What was that story that we were watching about the fucking mannequins in the store or whatever were like the old models that used to work there or whatever? And some people were like, oh, these fucking mannequins are so fucking crazy real looking or whatever. And we're like, yeah, dude, no wonder. They're fucking taxidermied people or whatever. Like, that shit was creepy.
Video seems to have not realized that they
That's an empty vessel.
captured something unusual during this moment. They
I'm pausing too much.
didn't see that
I'm sorry.
this was captured.
Probably not. Hope you're laughing. Dude, look at them fucking heads. The hanging body. Yeah, those are...
Very creepy in here.
Hello.
Appearing out of nowhere, a shadowy
Let me
figure
introduce
resembling a
myself.
woman is caught in the mirror. Its reflection is captured, but the person casting it is nowhere in sight. That is,
Please
if it was a
allow me
person.
to introduce
While some viewers agree
myself.
that it was a person in the sense that they used to be alive.
What Rolling Stones song
many
is that? Is that
believe
Rolling Stones?
this
That's
was
Rolling
its
Stones, right?
ghost. Seemingly
Please allow
dressed in
me
a
to
gown that a
introduce
woman would wear
myself.
during the Victorian era, the
It's like the
mysterious
song about
shadow
the devil.
passes by, unfazed by the group of strangers in the room. It's as if they've been here for quite some time. But like most videos, without much context, it remains unknown as to who or what was caught on camera. If you caught something creepy on camera, or if there's any ghost videos you'd like me to check out and include in the next compilation, you can send them over to scaryvideos444@gmail.com. That being said, let's get back to the video.
Yeah. Sympathy for the Devil by the Rolling Stones. Fucking excellent song.
On the night of October 4th of 2024,
Yeah, see, 999,
a young
go
couple
home
watches a scary
now!
movie that's already been seen by the boyfriend. It's his girlfriend's first time watching the film, and it's exactly how he imagined she would react, completely scared. It's for
She
this
got a crow
reason he
tattoo
films
on
this
her arm.
video. It would make for a funny clip.
At least it looks like the
But little
crow.
does he know, this exact moment would be anything
I
but
could be
funny.
saying that wrong.
Now, viewers agree that it's already creepy enough that they live in a house filled with clown dolls and other horror-themed items.
Oh,
But
hell
what was
yeah, let's
captured
go.
Beats any of those things. As
Yeah,
they
she
watch
definitely
this
got a crow
movie,
tattoo on her
this
hand.
is
Oh,
caught.
yeah. Living Dead. Oh, no, that's The Exorcist.
Of the Son and the Holy Spirit, by this sign of the Holy Cross of our Lord Jesus Christ, who lives and reigns with the Father and the Holy Spirit.
I'm going to fucking DMCA for this shit. So fucking terrible. I'm sorry, The Exorcist is stupid. It's just done so badly.
You killed your mother. You killed
The power of Christ compels you!
What was meant to be a funny clip of his girlfriend's reaction turns into something they would see in their movie. Out of nowhere, the clown doll on the wall moves. Unaware of what just happened, she
That clown
continues
doll
watching
says,
the
"I'm gonna
film
fucking
while the
dive
boyfriend
bomb
remains
this bitch."
speechless, as it seems that the doll had come alive. While some think that the film had something to do with this, the couple believes that something else was responsible. As it turns out, they live across a cemetery that's quite literally down the street from them. The following is the girlfriend's footage. Take a look.
My scary clown video. Okay, so I thought I'd show you that I actually do live across the road from a cemetery.
I don't know what happened there, but that wasn't an empty vessel. There was obviously something in it. So it doesn't matter. Your point's mute, right? And like, I mean, is Quark a fucking empty vessel? Huh? You got something against fucking little Quark here? Huh? What about Rocktopus? Huh? Or Xenomorphosis? Huh? Or Kid Thulu? Are those empty vessels?
Normally, this stuff doesn't scare me, but
That's the exact
Crime
problem. They
did.
don't stay empty.
So then, according to viewers, it's no wonder why the doll had come alive. It only makes sense that watching a scary movie near a cemetery would lead to this. But as always, you be the judge on whether or not this was paranormal. Just what exactly had occurred that night?
I want to get my teddy bear. Number 2.
On a sunny day, somewhere on a peninsula, a man records a video of an ancient fortress that was built in 1725. Obviously, the fortress has stood the test of time, seeing that it's still intact. But it's not the durability of this place that baffles the man who filmed this. Instead, it's what appears at this place that's left him pretty spooked. He was taking a video while he and his brother explored the fortress. Although many tourists come here, very few know that the fort has taken the lives of many pirates who invaded the peninsula during the 18th century.
Oh, damn.
Knowing this, the man couldn't help but feel a haunting presence while being here. Now, the quality is far from HD, but the video still captures footage of something visible and quite peculiar.
I was going to say, the stone fortress looks like TV static, so it's pretty bad.
Okay.
What was the point of him playing that first, like, 5 seconds or whatever? Oh, yeah, there's something there. Bloodshed and death are a good recipe for ghosts. Yeah. I mean, that was a little something, I guess.
The man who took this had no idea that something appeared around the fort.
It was like
He further
jellyfish.
adds that this, whatever it was, had been inside a closed-off section to the public. There was no way that a person could have accessed this area, as no one had stepped foot there for years. If it wasn't a person, as many
It looks like a
believe,
flying
then
jellyfish
what
to me.
exactly was this?
It's Baby
Now, it is kinda
Emrakul.
odd how despite the video's quality, we can still make out distinct figures in the distance. But this, even from a not so far distance, is hard to make out. While some speculate that it might be the spirit of a pirate who died while crossing the fort, others are simply baffled by the clip. Although uploaded in 2023, this video continues to remain a mystery.
Yeah, what the fuck was it filmed on? A Nokia?
In this last video, a man named Connor Lyle recorded something strange on his doorbell camera. It happened on a Thursday night when no one else had been outside. Connor had just come home at around 8 p.m. and was heading towards
What's
his
up, Connor?
house
How you doing?
when suddenly he gets the strangest feeling. It was as if his body, out of instinct, had sensed something threatening. Perhaps thinking it was all in his head, he shrugs it off and doesn't think much of it. But fast forward to him.
I was gonna say,
looking at
he's
the
in great
footage
shape.
Captured of that night.
He
his
probably take
stomach
care of himself pretty
drops.
good.
The following is his footage. Watch.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, I seen it. Oh. Oh.
As it turns
seen it
out,
twice.
his fight or flight response wasn't just random, but rather completely called for.
That wasn't a fight or
Right
flight
behind
response.
Connor,
That was a
there
fight
appears to be a shadowy
response.
figure
Dude got
walking
ready
by
real
and
quick.
then disappearing out of nowhere. However, after seconds pass, it reappears again, but this time a bit closer.
Hell
It's
yeah, a
as
bit
if it was
closer.
making its way towards Connor.
Hell
Feeling
yeah.
once again immensely unnerved, he turns around and sees nothing. But clearly,
He even
as
said
would
something,
eventually
too.
Find out something was behind him. What this was is unknown, but judging by Connor's reaction, viewers think it's best if he stayed away from ever encountering whatever this was. While there has yet to be any updates from Connor regarding this footage, this incident continues to remain unsolved.
Didn't want to fuck
Thanks
with
for
Connor,
watching,
man.
and I hope you enjoyed.
Connor had
Also-
a fucking. Oh shit! Oh, we got. Whoop. We got like that one. Fucking fist fight the ghost. Hell yeah! Fuck that motherfucker. All right. Thank you, Bizarre Bub. You're always good. We got chilling scares. Got some good ones. I need to open the door. The alcohol's fucking heating me up, man. Woo. Or the tea. The banana pudding tea. Oh, here we go. That's like instantly better. Alexa, what's the temperature outside?
Right now, it's 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Tonight, expect a low of 52 degrees.
Hell yeah. Alexa, thank you. You're wonderful.
You're smelcome. I mean, you're welcome. I think I've been hanging around Beetlejuice too long.
Oh, okay. There we go.
January 2015, a group of New Zealand film students were recording outside their school at Auckland's Parnell railway station. The footage you're seeing now was recorded by a student named Chris Muir. For a few minutes, Chris and his friends were messing around and having fun as they filmed. But that's when the group spotted a man and a woman wearing creepy white masks hiding in the tall grass next to the station and staring ominously at the camera.
Hell yeah. Looks like my brother Jason. Fuck yeah.
As it was later revealed, Chris and his buddies first thought that the masked people were probably pranksters from the school trying to creep them out, which is why they
don't look like school kids.
The footage. However, the students later confessed that it was more so nervous laughter and that they were actually pretty terrified during the encounter. Disturbingly, looking at the footage, they noticed that the couple appeared to be armed. In some of the clips, it looks like one of them is holding a pistol.
Do you want to die tonight? Cue death metal music. Where's the other one? Where's the other one?
I don't see him.
As soon as the suspects got a little too close for comfort, the group ran back to the main road, after which they reportedly saw a police chopper approaching the area.
It's pretty awesome.
It's not entirely clear who called the cops that day.
That could have been a cell phone.
This wasn't the first time the couple had harassed the public with their creepy masks and weapons.
Who do you know holds a fucking cell phone like that, though? For real.
A woman at Auckland's Domain
Be like,
Park,
hold your cell phone like this.
To arrest them. When the cops arrived at the train station,
Ain't nobody do
Chris
that
and his
shit.
friends gave them the report, after which the Auckland Police Department uploaded a Facebook post where they urged the suspects to come forward and warned civilians to stay far away from the masked couple if they saw them. They also cautioned that if they saw someone carrying what appeared to be a weapon, they had no way of knowing if the weapon was real or fake and would be forced to approach the situation as if it were real.
Absolutely.
Shortly after that, the suspects reportedly came forward to talk to the cops. Throughout the investigation, the authorities didn't release a whole lot of information to the public about who these people were, whether their weapons were real, or what their intentions were. But one thing we know for sure is that this wasn't just an innocent prank. In fact, when a lot of people online started accusing the students of staging a prank just to get attention, a spokesperson from the school came forward to clarify that the masked suspects had nothing to do with the institute. According to an article from Vice, a police spokesperson later confirmed that the weapons were fake. But I wasn't able to find any official confirmation of this, and to this day, not a lot of people know who the suspects were or why they were terrorizing the public for no reason.
It's still pretty creepy.
Case, it's a good thing Chris and his friends were able to get away before things took a turn for the worse.
See, I kind of like Chilling Scares better because it's like
the base of Mount Fuji.
I like Chilling Scares a little bit. You crashed? Oh no. I like Chilling Scares a little bit better because like his shit's more like real life, relatable shit, you know. But like Bizarre Bubs, like I don't know, I like his voice. Remember the clowns. No, I don't remember the clowns. Am I supposed to remember an event with clowns? Clowns don't scare me. Clowns make me laugh and smile. I love clowns. Even like really happy psycho demented clowns like the Joker and stuff. Clowns make me happy.
In Japan lies a forest that's known among the locals as the Sea of Trees. Interestingly, the entire forest grew out of a 30 square kilometer patch of hardened lava that was laid down by the last major eruption of Mount Fuji.
Some of them died doing
A little more disturbingly though,
my favorite clown it is, right?
Has become known as a place where people go to take their own lives. And
yes, it's the seppuku forest.
The forest, it's not uncommon at all to find a body. Near the entrance of the forest, a sign written in Japanese reads, "Quietly think once more about your parents, siblings, and children. please don't suffer alone and first reach out. In July 2017, urban explorer and YouTuber Burbex ventured into the forest to see what he'd find, walking his viewers through his entire journey into the sea of trees. But even though the video starts out tame enough, just a few minutes into his exploration,
okay, you're talking about the COVID clowns. Gotcha. Yeah, okay, I remember that. I do remember that, the COVID clowns. That was like fucking nationwide too. Like that wasn't just like a thing. Like that was like, yeah, that was all over the place. I don't know if the Joker's more of a jester than a clown. He's definitely a clown. You know why he's a clown? Because he's an exhibitionist, right? Jesters are just like, I'm more of a jester, right? I sit there, I talk shit and like fucking have fun, right? And a jester is supposed to also be like the devil on the shoulder of the king as well, right? So like the devil has like the king has like a chancellor and he has a jester and he's supposed to listen to both of them, right? That's like the jester's job, and he's supposed to entertain a little bit, but you know, clowns are straight up like entertainment. Jesters are to one person, not to all people, whereas clowns are to all people. I guess. I don't fucking know what I'm talking about. I'm buzzed. Leave me alone. Shortly before COVID, I think it was during COVID, and it was during like its 2 release. That's another one. I don't remember.
Comes across an abandoned bike.
That clown outbreak, I remember that.
A little disturbing.
Fucking crazy.
I'm only a few meters away from the road right now, but I've already found an abandoned bike. It's actually a pretty nice bike. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's been here a long time. What do we got in here? And there's a packet for a knife. I think I've just found some kind of note in a bag. It says 1211. I can't quite make out. I think this is somebody's name just here, and I'm not sure what this means.
This motherfucker about to pull a Logan Paul.
On top of the bike, Burbex finds an empty piece of packaging for a kitchen knife, and a few minutes later, he comes across a note written on a plastic bag.
No.
Translates to
the Joker will never kill the Batman. He needs the Batman. The Batman's the only meaning for the Joker's existence. But the Joker's for everybody. He wants to make everybody smile. Hence Smilex.
1211 verified. Fuji Yoshida police station verified, meaning it's likely evidence of someone who abandoned their stuff to take their own life in the forest, confirmed by the local police station. It's incredibly haunting to think how many lives have been lost in that forest over the years, and even more disturbing to think that any random passerby could easily find the body while exploring the terrain. Over the years, the Japanese government has implemented several measures, such as placing security cameras near the entrance to track those who walk inside, as well as training volunteers to talk to the visitors who are thinking of taking their lives. Still, this hasn't stopped people from following through with it, and the fact that the media has really played a big part in sensationalizing the forest in recent years hasn't helped either.
Be a hell of a way to go, man.
In early 2023, a man named David Meredith was
looks like you're having a good time.
Evening stroll through his neighborhood in Red Deer, Canada, when he suddenly saw a bull moose eating next to a tree. Hoping to catch a better glimpse, he hid behind the tree to watch.
You fucking dumbass, are you serious?
Turned around and started charging at him.
Oh,
to
yeah.
understand how incredibly dangerous this is, keep in mind that an adult male moose can run faster than 35 miles per hour, which is almost...
And like, they're the size of a fucking Silverado at the shoulder. Like, they're huge. That is incredibly fucking dumb. Joker toxin is also cool. Like, I have no idea how the moose still isn't the largest land mammal. Like, Moosaya. Right, yeah. That moose is going to deliver you to his Moosaya for sure.
twice as fast as the max speed for the average human male.
Look how big that
Even though
fucker
moose aren't generally
is!
aggressive, they can easily trample and kill a human if they feel threatened, which is probably what happened here.
Especially in
Fearing for
rut,
his life,
dude.
David
Oh,
hoisted
fuck.
himself up the tree next to him to avoid getting stabbed by the moose's antlers.
No!
He just ran me up a tree.
You're lucky he ain't running the tree down. Uh-huh. Yep, nope, you're right. You're right. You're right.
As soon as he was out of the moose's reach, he started recording. For about 30 seconds, the moose just stares at David, and you can hear the uploader's nervous breathing as he waits for the moose to leave. But shortly after, the moose starts charging back and forth with its head down, which is a clear sign that it's stressed and would probably trample David if he were to come down or fall from the tree. Based on what he mentioned to the news station that interviewed him a couple of days later, David stayed in the tree for over 10 minutes waiting for the moose to leave him alone. When asked how he climbed up the tree, he demonstrated how he pulled himself up by a flimsy-looking branch, which is honestly one of the most concerning parts of this whole situation. That branch breaks, and David would have been at the mercy of a very angry moose and might not have lived to tell the tale. Luckily, after seeing that David wasn't coming down, the moose finally gave up and ran off, thanks to which the uploader was able to come down safely after waiting it out for around an extra half hour. In February 2018, a man named Greg Harris uploaded a GoPro video of himself riding his ATV on an unnamed trail. For the first few seconds, the footage shows pretty much exactly what you'd expect from this kind of upload. But in the blink of an eye, something extremely disturbing interrupts Greg's ATV ride.
There's another wire. Oh shit. Yep, I saw it. Maybe I didn't.
If you didn't catch it, someone had set up a metal wire between the two
Okay,
trees,
yes, yeah, I thought I
which got
saw
caught
right
in
there.
the uploader's helmet and forced him to stop. It's pretty disturbing to think that if Greg hadn't been so lucky, he could have
He's
been
probably checking his
decapitated
neck.
by the
He's like,
wire.
fuck.
Fortunately,
Did I just
as
Final
mentioned in the video
Destination myself?
description, his speed, along with the wire hitting his helmet instead of his neck, caused it to break as he passed through it. It might seem shocking that anyone would even think of doing something as incredibly evil as setting up a lethal booby trap in the middle of an ATV trail, but sadly, it's actually pretty common in the dirt bike and ATV community. Sometimes these wires are set up by people trying to keep bikers off their property. Others are set up by psychos who get irritated by the noise and decide to use violence to fix the issue. And the rest are set up by people who are just messed up in the head and want to bring harm to others for no reason. In this case, it's impossible to tell who was responsible for setting up the trap. This is just one of those videos where if the wire was set up just slightly lower, the accident could have easily been fatal. Luckily,
Yeah,
was
dude,
able
he
to walk
almost
away
fell
with
off his
minimal
fucking bike.
injuries, and he used his video as a way to warn others to watch out for these kinds of traps, especially
Dude,
when
it's
riding through
fucked up.
trees. Back in the summer of 2014, a man named Chris was biking in the mountains near Fernie, British Columbia, when he suddenly noticed what appeared to be an animal approaching him in the tall grass. Immediately, he realized it was a mountain lion, and that's when he started recording.
I don't know if you can see it,
No, I can't.
but there's a mountain.
Oh, there it is. I see it there by the road.
He's crouching
Okay.
in the grass. He's actually coming towards me.
This is why I'm always armed with a gun.
At first,
in the
it's
wild.
kind of hard to see where exactly the animal
Yeah,
is,
it's like
but
fucking
as
right
Chris
over
walks
here.
towards the trail, you can see it emerging from the grass coming closer.
Jesus Christ. It's right there.
That is a mountain lion. And he's stalking me.
Even though mountain lion sightings are rare, they have been known to attack people in certain situations. And let's just say, if you see one stalking you in the tall grass, slowly approaching as it stares you down, you can be pretty certain that you're in danger. About 2 minutes into the footage, the lion starts walking a little faster, and Chris does the one thing you never do with a mountain lion by turning his back
You
and
turn your
starting
back
to
and
run.
run? Yeah, no. Ooh. Nope. That's the wrong thing to do. Ooh.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you.
Yeah, I mean, it understands how big you are compared to it.
Nice to see you.
Let it know that.
I am much bigger than you.
Over the next couple of minutes, Chris tries to get the animal to go away, but it only walks around him and continues to stalk him, staring him down in the tall grass near the entrance to the woods. A couple of minutes later, the uploader manages to take a few steps toward the main trail back to his car, but he doesn't get too far before the mountain lion cuts him off again.
Stay back.
Ooh.
Stay there.
See, that's why you carry a gun on you. The second you point it and you pull the trigger, it's done. It wants nothing more to do with you. It's already on edge about you.
I'm not afraid of you.
Yeah, don't be.
Fortunately, after a few moments of tension, the mountain lion turns around and disappears into the trees. Being in a position like that has to be downright terrifying, especially when you consider that the only reason the lion didn't attack was because it didn't want to. And had it felt more threatened, it easily could have done some serious damage. Thankfully, it was just a close call, and Chris was able to walk away from the terrifying encounter.
I don't know about all that.
In March 2000,
there's only one reason why predators walk up on something. That's because it's fucking hungry. Just saying.
A 5-year-old girl
Make it reconsider where it's at on the food chain compared to you.
from Fair Lawn, New Jersey was playing with her friends near a creek in a wooded area behind their home right off Route 208. This was an area the family knew very well, as they'd been living there for 13 years, and the girl's
Except for
father,
bears.
Dave Carota, and his wife felt completely safe letting their kid play in the woods behind their house. But at some point during that particular afternoon, the girl came across a pile of clothing in the woods, after which she immediately ran back to tell her dad what she had found. Strangely, the clothes appeared to have been cut off a person's body, and there were suspicious red stains all over the tattered, shredded outfit.
Dude, I don't need to see
After
that.
confirming the bundle consisted only of women's clothing, Dave called the Bergen County Sheriff's Office and reported the incident, feeling like it was just too out of the ordinary for a random pile of cut-up clothes to appear near the entrance of the woods so close to his home. Even though this was the first time their daughter saw the clothes, it appeared they had been in the woods for several months.
No, mountain lions very much know what the fuck we are. Like, and they know, they know how dangerous we are too. Like, typically, I mean, unless you're a vegan, I guess. I mean, you could probably tell that you're a vegan pussy and, you know, don't eat meat. Like, animals can smell if you eat meat or not on a regular, right? Like, it comes out in your sweat and your pheromones and your body and stuff, right? Like, you emit, like, that smell, right? And if you're smelling like that, and you're as big as you are, because animals don't see, they don't comprehend like we do with size, right? Like, we could see something on all fours and understand it's probably bigger than us, right? Whereas they see us walking upright and we're as big as a goddamn fucking moose, you know, on a lot of occasions. Right? Because they're, oh fuck. That's why with like some bears, you pick up a stick and you wave it above your head and you scream because it makes you look bigger. Right? Because they judge on an animal's size from ground to sky. They don't really see the depth of it. Right? So that mountain lion was, I don't think that mountain lion was curious, bro. I think it was hungry and it was desperate. Fix bayonets! Get the heavy flamer!
Which explains some of the excessive wear and tear.
Yeah, you want to scare an animal off? Carry a fucking flamethrower with you. Or a fire accelerator. A heat accelerator. There we go. Yeah, that'll fucking make something fucking question you real fucking quick. You're fucking throwing fireballs at it, man. It's gonna fucking like, maybe not. Maybe not. This might suck.
Suspicious cuts and stains all over the outfit. Immediately,
Carry a flashbang.
Police started asking the
No, see, I'm all about the lethal stuff, not so much the, like, I'm going to teach it a lesson and I'm going to fucking cut it out of its fucking, like, gene pool. You don't fuck with people. Yeah, that'll scare. Yeah, a flamethrower most certainly will fucking scare a polar bear off. Polar bear won't know what the fuck to do with a flamethrower. You'd be like, whoa, I got really hot really quick. Flashbang, probably not so much. It might like stun it a little bit and piss it off. And honestly, bayonets ain't gonna fucking do shit to most shit anyways.
Public if they could identify the clothes, hoping that it was just a prank rather than something more sinister. Unfortunately, nobody came forward, and until the clothes can be linked to some sort of crime or to a victim, they can't be accepted for testing by the police department. To this day, the cops from the Fairlawn Police Department haven't been able to match the clothing to anyone in particular. And at this point, all we can do is hope that whoever those clothes belong to did not come to the harrowing fate that the dark reddish stains imply.
Very good. Very good. Man. Altar's so weird. Okay, guys. The following content may contain self-deletion or like owie topics. Okay? I'm going to understand and proceed. If you do not like this shit, fucking leave and stop being such a bitch. Satire, people. Satire about the bitch part. Grow some fucking balls. I fight in the name of the Emperor.
Sorry, Chef.
Oh,
I think you should hear this.
Huh?
Everything all right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
Dining at L's was
Oh,
like
no,
being
it's
on the
giving a
Titanic
warning out for
moments
this video.
before it hit the iceberg. Though the service and atmosphere were
It had a
both
warning,
far from
and I read
abhorrent,
it.
Mrs.
And then I was
Vaughn's
calling people a
menu
bitch
was
if it affects them.
Pretentious for pretentious
Satirically,
sake.
of course.
A far cry from her early days, and unfortunately reeked.
No, absolutely not. That'd just be banning. I don't put up with shit.
Yeah. I know.
Chef, your nose. Don't
Oh, damn.
let this stress you out. It's just one person's opinion.
How many times have I told you? He is not just anybody.
That's some fucking high-end stress that's making your nose bleed like that. Good God. Cocaine. Where's my cocaine? I got no cocaine. That's sad. I'm only playing. I don't do drugs, guys. I barely fucking drink.
I have worked very hard to get where I am, and I will not let a magazine article take that away from me. Heard?
Yes, Chef.
Back to prep. Service is in 5
Gabby.
hours.
Yes, Chef.
Eloise.
Alistair, thank you for
I was expecting Oliver Platt. And if you get
Rare
that,
I return for a second
kudos.
so soon. But for Eloise Vaughn, I suppose I can make an exception.
Was it Oliver Platt? I think so.
I know it's likely hard for you to believe, but I really am looking forward to tonight's fare.
I've worked myself to the bone crafting this menu.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is Oliver
Poured
Platt.
myself into it.
Fucking A.
I am certain it will exceed your expectations.
We shall see.
That would disappoint the fuck out of me.
Would you care to know what he said?
I think I know what he said.
Hey, what's up, Robin? What up, girly?
Julian, congratulations. You're my new head chef.
Thank you.
Eloise, in cooking, why you make a dish is equally as important as the dish itself. This feels arbitrary. It lacks heart. There's no you in this dish, and it shows.
Chef? Chef. Your nose. Chef,
Are you
another
serious?
soup now.
No. Send it out.
Chef, you can't.
I wasn't asking.
You fucking demented cunt.
Corn velouté with a foie gras whip and crostini de maïs. Magnificent. His words.
Hell yeah, let's go.
Shiso salad d'agrumes with Miss Vaughn's hand-prepared dressing.
With her hand-prepared dressing. Yes. Is the fucking, like, dude a vampire? That's kind of awesome.
This is the only thing I want to see coming through that door. Got it?
Yes, Chef.
I can't be the only one willing to put 100% of themselves into tonight. Can I?
Yeah, actually.
No, Chef.
At that point. What the fuck is going on here? Are you fucking serious right now? Let's go! What the fuck? Let's go! Pigartata.
Orders that.
I love it. This is awesome. Well then, everybody else is craving pork chops. Oh, dude, she got a brain up in that bitch. Let's go.
Are we ready for dessert?
Yes.
Chef, your jacket.
Eloise, did I ever tell you why I hired Julian over you? The culinary world is lacking creativity. It needs fresh blood. And you, well, people like you are far too talented to be working in someone else's shadow. Even someone as brilliant as myself. People often need to be pushed before they can truly put their whole heart into something. I suppose dessert will tell us whether or not you've been sufficiently pushed.
I say you're disappointed with the lack of classical music over the eating. There was classical music. Just not.
May I have your attention, please? I can't thank you all enough for coming to celebrate the life of my protege, the great Eloise
I
Vaughn.
know your horror version, but
People often
I
need
love
to be
Silence of
pushed
the Lambs. I
before
love
they're
Silence of the
willing
Lambs
to
too.
take
It's such a
risks.
great movie.
And I'm proud to say that I was able to give the motivation that led to tonight's triumphant new cuisine.
Demonic pact sealed. No shit. Necrofusion.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are all in for a meal that is truly to die for. To Eloise.
Very good, very good. Alter's got videos. I'll say that. Alter has videos. The Bloody Ballad of Squirt Reynolds. Ah. Glad everyone's caught up with Gwilliam. Let's see here. Honestly, what you guys think? Huh? We've watched quite a few. Got caught up a little bit. Loki, what you crying about, babies? Ooh. Imaginary friends. Let's go for it.
Psychotherapist and professor of psychology, Dr. Kirk Honda, was featured in a podcast that delved into the topic of imaginary friends. And in this podcast,
Let's do a lighthouse horror. Oh, yeah.
Honda makes it clear that imaginary
My bad. I completely forgot about lighthouse horror. Let's see here. Do. Yeah. We don't want no hour-long one or anything. Let's see here. I like just watching random ones, but we ain't got time for something that's like fucking extremely long or anything. What is it, Loki? I know. We'll do this cop one.
When I
Have you guys
first got the
noticed?
job,
There's hardly.
they didn't tell me anything strange about the night shift.
Okay.
No one pulled me aside with a wink and a warning. No old-timer whispered ghost stories by the coffee pot. It was a small town, population 4,000 on a good day, and the most
I'm just
excitement
fucking with you.
anyone expected was a rowdy football game or a call from Mrs. Turner about her stolen mail again. The most unsettling thing, I figured, would be the silence. The quiet, hollow kind of dark that hangs over towns like ours after midnight. The chief met me on my first night, a tall guy with tired eyes and graying hair. He shook my hand firmly, his grip lingering a second too long. "You read the rules I left on your desk?" he asked. I nodded, but I hadn't. I'd glanced at the papers before stuffing it into my pocket, assuming they were standard shift protocols, reminders to lock up the station or fill out my logs. He didn't need to know that, though, and he seemed satisfied enough, giving me a stiff nod before sending me out on patrol. Only then, sitting in the cruiser under the dim light in the station lot, did I take the paper out again. In plain blocky handwriting, 6 rules stared back at me. Rule number 1, stay in your car between midnight and 3:33 a.m. Do not leave for any reason. Lock the doors. Number 2, if you see a pair of headlights coming towards you after 2 a.m., turn off your lights, put the car in park, and keep your head down until they pass. Number 3, if you hear someone tapping on the window, ignore it, even if they call your name. Number 4, around 3 a.m., you might see someone in the rearview mirror. Do not look directly at them. Keep your focus straight ahead until they're gone. Number 5, there may be a patrol car that looks like ours, but the numbers will be all wrong. Do not acknowledge it, and do not get out of your car if it pulls up beside you. And rule number 6, never answer your radio after 3:33 a.m. If you hear any voices, turn it off. Don't turn it back on until sunrise. I frowned. Alright, this was some kind of initiation joke. Maybe that chief got a kick out of hazing the new guy. You know, it felt stupid.
Dude, that's over half your fucking shift. Like, dude got a cake. He like, shit, I just worked to midnight, man. I'm good. I work like fucking 2 hours. And then I just nap in my car until like fucking morning. Let's go. Yeah, this is going to be a good one.
But there was an uneasiness that sat heavy in my stomach as I reread each rule, trying to rationalize them, trying to find some angle that made sense. When midnight rolled around, I found myself in the parking lot of an old gas station that hadn't been in business for years. I cut the engine, leaned back in the seat, and tried to settle in. The night air outside was dead still. No hum of life or distant traffic, just an almost oppressive silence. For the first half hour, I thumbed through my phone, scrolling through old messages and news stories to pass the time. The rules itched at the back of my mind, each one hovering like a threat. Midnight to 3:33 a.m. A strange, precise window of time. I kept the doors locked, my hand absently checking the latch as I sat there. There was no good reason to leave the car anyway. The last thing I wanted was to stumble around in the dark, hearing nothing but my own footsteps off the empty streets. Somewhere after 1 o'clock, a soft fog began to roll in, settling low over the streets. It wasn't thick, just enough to blur the edges of the world outside. I adjusted in my seat, watching as it twisted around the street lamps, coating the already quiet town in stillness. I checked my watch, 2:05 a.m., and that's when I saw it. The first test of the night. Headlights, faint at first, glowing like distant fireflies on the opposite end of the street, slowly coming toward me. A perfectly normal sight on any other night, just a car driving through town. But I remember the rule. If you see a pair of headlights coming towards you after 2 a.m., turn off your lights, put the car in park, and keep your head down until they pass. Reluctantly, I reached for the light switch, clicking it off. The interior of the car plunged into darkness, the only glow coming from the faint red numbers on the dash. I put the car in park, and I waited, my head tilted forward, but my eyes sneaking a glance up as the lights got closer. The car was old, the kind you might see in movies from the 70s. It rolled slowly, its headlights cutting through the fog in thin, eerie beams. There was something about it, something I couldn't put into words. The way it moved felt off, almost like it was floating rather than driving. As the car neared, I forced myself to look down, squeezing my eyes shut and pressing my forehead against the steering wheel. Every instinct screamed to lift my head. Just a glance, just enough to confirm it was some harmless late-night driver. But I stayed put, feeling a cold sensation spread over my skin as the car passed, slow and deliberate, its engine purring quietly as it glided by. I waited until I could no longer sense its presence, until the faint hum of its engine faded into the night. When I finally looked up, the street was empty, only the fog drifting lazily where the car had been. My hands were clammy, fingers stiff as I gripped the steering wheel. It was ridiculous, I was a grown man. I was a cop, sitting here terrified of a rule that was probably designed to haze rookies. But as I sat in silence, the unease only deepened. Hours stretched by in dead silence. I could feel myself starting to drift, the heavy drowsiness of a long night settling over me. I checked my watch, 3 a.m. on the dot. I rubbed my eyes, fighting to stay alert. I could feel the minutes dragging, every tick of the clock a subtle taunt. My gaze drifted up to the rearview mirror, out of habit more than anything. And that's when I saw it. A shape, faint but unmistakable, hovering in the back seat. At first, I thought it was the fog, maybe some reflection from outside. But the shape didn't move, it didn't waver. It was as if someone were sitting right behind me, close enough to reach forward and grab me if they wanted to. Around 3 a.m., you might see someone in the rear.
That's the motherfucking grudge right there.
Do not look directly at them. Keep your focus straight ahead until they're gone. My fingers tightened around the steering wheel, my breathing shallow. I wanted to look, to turn around and see what the hell was behind me. But the words of the rule sat like lead in my mind. I forced my eyes to stay on the road ahead, my pulse a steady thud in my ears as I stared into the foggy emptiness beyond the windshield. The figure didn't move. It stayed there, just a dark silhouette. I could feel its presence, solid and wrong. Minutes passed, and then finally the weight lifted. I didn't dare look in the mirror, not even a glance, until the feeling completely vanished. When I finally looked, the back seat was empty again. I took a shaky breath, fingers stiff, as I flexed them against the wheel. I felt a sense of dread, and no amount of logic or self-assurance seemed to shake it. I'd followed the rules. I was still here, but the night wasn't over. And somehow I knew I'd only scratched the surface. The hours continued to crawl. As I sat alone in that car, my mind running through the rules over and over, the silence grew heavier. Every now and then, I'd catch myself looking at the rearview mirror or the foggy streets, expecting to see something that shouldn't be there. As the first hints of dawn came, a small part of me began to relax. The rules had felt like some kind of fever dream, a trial of my nerves, but I had survived. Whatever haunted this town at night, whatever old, twisted things came out, they'd left me alone. When I finally drove back to the station, the chief was waiting by the door, watching me with those tired eyes, as if he already knew what I'd seen. He didn't ask me if I'd followed the rules. I don't think he had to. The look he gave me was enough, an unspoken warning, a grim reminder that the night shift here was far from normal. I didn't ask questions. I didn't need to. I clocked out in silence, the chief's eyes on me as I left, feeling the weight of a night that lingered far longer than it should have. After that first night, sleep didn't come easily. I spent hours lying awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying the events over and over. The feeling of that thing in the back seat wouldn't leave my mind, nor would the memory of the old car rolling by. Part of me tried to brush it off, but another part, the one that had felt something unnatural, it knew better. On my second night, I arrived at the station just before midnight, trying not to notice the way the air felt heavier. I nodded to the chief as I clocked in. He just nodded back, wordless, and handed me the same paper he had the night before. I still had it, folded in my pocket like a talisman, but I took the new one anyway.
Okay, I got mine.
Something about his face told me he wouldn't appreciate questions, so I didn't ask. I tucked the paper into my shirt pocket, though the words were burned into my mind well enough by then. It felt like they'd been there forever, and something told me they'd be staying with me for a long time. Midnight hit, and I started my shift. The streets were quiet, as they'd been the night before. Too quiet, really. In any other town, you might hear a few distant voices, maybe the dull hum of late-night TVs from the houses with curtains open. But here there was nothing. The fog had returned, thicker than the night before, coiling around the street lamps like smoke. It was almost as if the town had been drained of life. I drove the main roads first, checking intersections, passing darkened storefronts and empty parks. The feeling of being watched crept over me, but I ignored it, forcing myself to follow the routine. A simple patrol, nothing more. An hour passed by without incident. Then two. I was just beginning to let my guard down when the first tap came. It was soft at first, a little noise, barely noticeable over the hum of the engine. I thought it was the radio for a second, maybe some weird static or a misfire from the equipment. But then it came again, louder, like a finger tapping against glass. I remembered the rule. If you hear someone tapping on the window, ignore it, even if they call your name. I froze. The taps were coming in a steady, unnatural rhythm. It moved from the driver's side window to the back, each tap precise, and somehow too hollow, too deliberate. Like someone outside the car was making sure I heard every single sound. Then I heard my name. It wasn't loud, barely more than a whisper, but clear enough to leave no doubt. The voice wasn't one I recognized either. Officer Carter. The voice paused, letting my name hang in the air. I grabbed the wheel tighter, my eyes fixed on the dashboard, refusing to turn. The fog outside thickened, and the tapping resumed. Faster now, as if whoever it was growing impatient. Officer Carter. The voice was closer this time, just outside my window. I looked ahead, my breathing shallow but controlled. Part of me wanted to look sideways, just to confirm it wasn't real, to see nothing and laugh it off as some late-night delusion. But the other part, the one that remembered the rules, it wouldn't let me move. The tapping grew louder, angrier, shifting between windows as though it was circling the car, looking for a way in. I bit down hard on the inside of my cheek, trying to keep myself anchored, refusing to acknowledge it. I didn't know how long I sat there. The tapping wouldn't stop, each knock more violent than the last, until it felt like something was hammering on the glass, desperate to break through. And then, just as suddenly as it started, it stopped. The silence that came after was almost worse. I could feel something outside, watching me. But I didn't move, didn't so much as blink, until the feeling lifted, until the fog began to dissipate. Only then did I dare look around, finding the windows perfectly intact, not a single mark on the glass. Whatever it was had left, at least for now. I took a deep breath. The air thickened my lungs as I forced myself to relax. My hands
There's
were
the
sore
fucked up
from
car.
gripping the wheel, my knuckles pale. The night continued on in silence, the minutes dragging into hours as I drove through the empty streets, every instinct on high alert. Around 3 a.m, I found myself near the edge of town, where the main road cut into the open stretch of forest that bordered the county line. The fog had thinned out, drifting in patches that floated across the road, almost like they were watching me. I kept my gaze steady, the rules running through my mind like a mantra. And that's when I saw it. A patrol car, parked just off the road, its lights off, but the shape unmistakable. It was an older model, maybe a few years out of commission, but definitely one of ours. A Ford with the same stripes, same decals, everything in place except the number on the side. The number was all wrong. I forced myself not to slow down, not to look too closely. I'd almost convinced myself it was just some abandoned car left by a previous shift, when its headlights clicked on. My stomach dropped as the car pulled onto the road behind me, its lights dim, but focused on me. I kept my speed steady, my eyes glued to the road ahead, refusing to acknowledge the vehicle creeping closer to me. The urge to speed up, to pull over, to do something clawed at me, but I didn't dare break the rule. It followed me for a good mile, always staying just behind me, its headlights a dull, unnatural glow. And then, without warning, it sped up, closing the distance until it was right on my bumper. My heart pounded in my chest as the car seemed to push closer, practically nudging me forward. I fought the urge to look in the rearview mirror, but the rule was clear: do not acknowledge it. For a second, I thought about braking, about forcing it to stop, but I knew that was a bad idea. There was something deeply wrong about that car, something that went well beyond mere imitation. After a long time, the car finally backed off, its headlights dimming as it slowed down, drifting back into the fog like it never even been there. The road ahead stretched out in a desolate line, the fog thickening once more as I drove on, my hands gripping the wheel tightly. And the rest of the shift was a blur, the silence pressing down on me. Every now and then, I caught myself glancing at the mirrors, waiting for something. When the first light of morning broke through, I felt a physical weight lift off my shoulders. I drove back to the station, each mile feeling like a reprieve. I parked in the lot, taking a moment to collect myself before stepping out of the car. The chief was waiting by the door, his eyes scanning my face with a knowing look. "How was your shift?" he asked, though his tone made it clear he already knew. I didn't respond. Instead, I handed him the folded paper. He nodded, tucking the paper into his pocket without a word. "All right, get some rest," he said. "Tonight's the hardest night of them all." I didn't know what he meant by that. Part of me didn't want to know. As I left the station, the weight of his words settled over me, and I realized just how deeply those rules had messed with my head. There was no doubt now. This town had secrets, and whatever was out there in the dark had no intention of letting me leave. On the third night, I arrived at the station with a feeling I hadn't had since joining the force, a quiet dread. The chief was waiting by my car when I pulled in, and his expression was grimmer than usual. There were lines on his face that I hadn't seen the night before. His eyes were heavy and unblinking. "Last night of the training shift," he said, handing me the paper with the rules again, as if I needed reminding. His hand lingered on the paper as I took it. There was something in his eyes, something close to sympathy. He opened his mouth as if to say something, but then he just nodded and stepped back. His silence somehow making this even worse. I settled into the car, checked my radio, and listened to the static hum over the speakers as I looked at the rules one last time. Rule 6. Never answer your radio after 3:33 a.m. If you hear any voices, turn it off, and don't turn it back on until sunrise. Now, the other rules had taken their toll, each night grinding away at the last bits of logic and rationality I'd held on to. But that last rule was the scariest one to me. I'd been a cop long enough to know that a radio was a lifeline, the only connection we had out there. It was a rule that seemed meant to push me past the point of reason, a test I didn't fully understand. Midnight came quietly. The town was cloaked in the same heavy fog, thicker than the other nights. The first couple hours passed without incident, but as I sat there in silence, I felt something heavy in the air. At around 2, headlights flared in the distance. They moved slowly, cutting through the fog as they made their way toward me. This time I didn't wait to test it. I clicked off my lights, put the car in park, and ducked my head low, keeping my eyes on the floor as the lights came closer. I could hear the hum of the engine as it passed, the sound wrong, hollow, echoing like it was coming from a different place altogether. When I looked after it was gone, I saw the fog settle again, undisturbed, as if the car had never been there. And then, as the clock ticked toward 3 o'clock, something happened that made me grip the wheel. From the corner of my eye, I saw a figure, a man standing just outside the driver's side window. He was far too tall, and his head was tilted. Do not acknowledge it, I thought. I could see from the corner of my eye that the thing was waving at me now, slowly waving. And I don't know how exactly, but I knew it was smiling. Finally, after a long time, the tall figure faded into the mist. Time dragged on, I was exhausted, my nerves frayed. I kept glancing at the clock, watching the minutes crawl past. And then, at exactly 3:33 a.m., the radio crackled alive. I jumped, the sound cutting through the silence like a knife. Static buzzed from the speaker, crackling with faint, indistinct voices that shifted in and out, as though someone was trying to reach me from far away. I turned to switch the radio off, my hand hovering over the button. But then, through the static, I heard a voice that I hadn't heard in years, one that I knew better than my own. Daniel, please, can you hear me? My blood ran cold. It was my father's voice. He died 6 years ago, buried in the small cemetery just outside of town.
Oh,
I'd
shit.
stood by his grave, watched as the dirt covered his casket, and yet here he was, speaking to me through the crackling haze of the radio. Please, Daniel, I need your help. I froze, my hand trembling. Every instinct screamed to turn it off, to follow the rule, to leave the past where it belonged. But the voice continued, pleading. Daniel, you've got to listen to me, please. I'm stuck here. I can't leave. You have to help me, son. You're the only one who can. The words scratched at something raw inside of me. Memories of late night shifts in his study, the smell of his aftershave lingering in the air, his hand heavy on my shoulder as he gave me his old stories of life and loss, of pride and the force. Every piece of logic I had was melting away, replaced by that familiar ache of grief. Dad? The word slipped out before I could stop myself, my voice barely a whisper. There was silence on the other end for a moment, and then his voice came
he's
back.
Fucked now.
Softer this time, and more real. Daniel, thank God. I knew you'd hear me. I knew you'd find me, son. I just need you to come to the place where we used to go, by the river. Please, son, you have to hurry. The river? We'd spent so many weekends there when I was a kid, fishing off the banks in the early morning light, watching the water as it drifted by. I could almost see it, smell the fresh, dewy grass, feel the rough bark of the old oak tree where we used to sit together. But something was wrong. I could feel it deep in my bones, a wrongness that didn't belong in my father's voice. The radio crackled again. His voice fading in and out, slipping between familiar tones and something colder, something that shouldn't have been there. Turn it off.
A thing that should not be.
Trying to tear my hand away from the radio, but the voice kept pulling me in, tugging at memories I hadn't visited in years. Please, son, just come to the river, Daniel. I'm waiting for you. My hand hovered over the dial, my mind spinning, and then I thought of the rule. Never answer your radio after 3:33. If you hear voices, turn it off, and don't turn it back on until sunrise. I clenched my jaw, forcing myself to turn the knob, cutting the voice off mid-sentence. The silence that followed was deafening, a weight pressing down on me. I sat there, the only sound, the faint hum of the engine. The voice had sounded like him, every inflection, every hesitation, just as I'd remembered. But I knew deep down, I knew that whatever I'd heard on that radio couldn't have been him. It was something else, something that knew him, something that had reached into the depths of my mind and pulled out the one voice that could have broken me. I finished my shift in a haze, barely noticing as the first light crept over the horizon. When I returned to the station, the chief was there, waiting for me by the door. His eyes were dark, hollow, like a man who'd seen one too many things he wished he hadn't. I didn't say a word. He just gave me a slow, understanding nod and placed a hand on my shoulder. When the shift ended, I drove straight to the cemetery. The morning sun cast long shadows across the graves as I
Dude, he's
walked
so
between the
lucky.
rows, making my way to the simple headstone near the back, marked with my father's name. I crouched down, setting a hand of wildflowers on the grass, the cool morning air chilling my skin. I don't know what I heard last night, I murmured, but I know it wasn't you. The wind rustled through the trees, the leaves whispering as they drifted down around me. There was a
excuse me.
stillness here, a peaceful silence that I hadn't felt since the beginning of my shift 3 days ago. Whatever haunted those nights, whatever lived in the dark corners of that town, it hadn't followed me here. I stayed there for a while, listening to the quiet, the memories drifting around me. And as the sun rose higher, I felt a strange sense of calm settle over me. A feeling that maybe, just maybe, I'd made it through something that was meant to break me. When I finally left, I didn't look back. The rules stayed with me, though. A warning, a reminder that some things in this world exist beyond the edge of reason, and that sometimes survival depends on following rules we can't understand. I drove back to town, and as I passed the station, I saw the chief standing there, watching me drive by with a look that told me that he understood. Hey, I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you like true scary stories, we just started a second channel called Lighthouse, where I tell true scary stories on camera every single night, 7 nights a week at 8 p.m. New York time. We have some crazy true scary stories over there, so if that's your thing, come on by. You can click on the icon, or we have a link in the description. Thank you so much for watching. I hope everybody's doing really well, and I'll see you soon.
That's going to do it. I'll see y'all tomorrow for Dragon Age Origins. Y'all have a very, very wonderful evening. Bye.